Greetings and welcome to ME 108 Week 9. This week we're going to talk about the structure of the medicine chapter in the CPT and ICD-9. Um, the medicine chapter comprises most of the 90,000 series of the CPT codes. The exception is the evaluation and management, or E&M, code series, which is 99201 to 99499, with those codes located in the first chapter of the CPT manual. This is the most diverse chapter in the CPT manual, with over 30 separate code sections and approximately 100 subsections of non-overlapping services. Many of these codes describe invasive procedures commonly performed by non-surgical specialists, such as physicians who are medicine specialists. The major medical areas described by these codes can include immune globulins, serum, or recombinant products, which is 90281 to 90399. Immunization administration for vaccines or toxoids, 90460 to 90474. Vaccines and toxoids are 90476 to 90749. Psychiatry, 90801 to 90899. We have biofeedback, which is 90901 to 90911. Biofeedback, 90901 to 90911. Dialysis, 90935 to 90999. We have gastroenterology, 91010 to 91299. Ophthalmology, 92002 to 92499. You can have, we've got special otorhinolaryngologic services, which is 92502 to 92700. As you can see, there's quite a bit that we can cover. We have hydration injections and infusions, chemotherapy, which is 96360 to 96549. Photodynamic therapy, 96567 to 96571. We have medical nutrition therapy, which is 97802 to 97804. Acupuncture, 97810 to 97814. Chiropractic manipulative treatment, or which is 9894098 to 98943. Other services and procedures, 99170 to 99199. Of course, we have home health procedures and services, which is 99500 to 99602. And we also have medication therapy management services. This is 99605 to 99607. Now, codes within each category often describe a multitude of unrelated services. It's very important that coders understand how to use the CPT index to identify codes describing the services that must be reported. In many cases, there will be a number of CPT codes that generally describe a service listed in the index. Coders must review each listed code to determine which one is the best service to be provided or services. The medicine chapter general guidelines, these include guidelines that are generally acceptable to other code sections, but may have slightly different applications to the section than the surgical procedure codes. These guidelines are found at the beginning of the 90,000 series. Coders should review the guidance when reporting any code from the 90,000 series. Multiple procedures are provided to an individual by a single provider on the same day should be reported with separate codes. For example, if an ophthalmologist provides EM services and other separately identifiable services not typically included in the EM visit, both the EM visit and the other services should be reported. Additional procedures may be paid differently than primary procedures. Many payers pay less for secondary procedures than they would for the same procedure if it were primary procedure. The logic behind this payment for the primary procedure is that the work, much of the work of the second procedure duplicates work included in the payment for the primary procedure. Payers often will not pay for this duplicated work. Medicare, for example, pays 50% of its usual fee schedule amount for secondary procedures. In addition to the discounted payment for secondary procedures, payers often bundle some procedures into others, paying for only the primary procedure. These bundling rules are complex and often differ from payer to payer. Regardless of the payment or the bundling rules applied by the payers, coders should not report all services. Coders should report all services provided. So, you report them all. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get them all covered. Here's a little tip. Again, coders should report the services provided. Some payers include federal programs like Medicare. They don't pay for every service reported. Payers often have payment bundling rules that differ from the coding rules that determine which codes are reported. Payment rules should not determine how the coders report those services provided. Add-on codes, procedures designated by add-on codes identified in the CPT manual by a plus sign are never reported as a primary service. These can only be reported when the parent, with the parent code. Most often there's only one parent code for each add-on code, but in some instances there are several parent codes associated with an individual add-on code. In other cases, there are multiple add-on codes associated with a single parent code. In addition to the plus sign designation, add-on codes are listed in Appendix D and often contain phrases such as each additional or parenthetical, listed separately in addition to primary code in their code descriptors. Coders should not add modifier 51, which is additional procedure, to add-on codes when reporting these services. These codes should not be confused with CPT codes listed in Appendix E, which are exempt from modifier 51 for other reasons. Those codes are not add-on codes, but similar to add-on codes, coders should not add the modifier 51 to these codes. Separate procedures. Some CPT codes include the term separate procedure as part of their code descriptors. These procedures are often performed as part of another procedure. When that occurs, the code for the procedure should not be reported separately. The separate procedure code descriptor designation indicates that the code is reported separately when the larger procedure is not performed, indicating that this procedure was performed separately. Okay, another little tip for you. Even experienced coders sometimes confuse the separate procedure designation and concept. This designation does not mean that the procedure described by the code is always reported as a separate procedure. This indication indicates that the procedure described by the code is often not performed as a separate procedure, and the code should not be reported separately unless this procedure was not performed as part of the larger procedure. It's a lot of stuff to think about, isn't it? Let me give you a little exercise here, and I'll give you the answer, but I want you to look it up and see if you can find it. If an ophthalmologist performs multiple procedures on a new patient, including an intermediate examination, computerized corneal topography, including interpretation and report, and prescribes contact lenses, including medical supervision of adaptation, which of the following codes is not reported to describe these procedures? We have 92002 for A, 92275 for B, 92012 for C, and 92310 for D. Now, the patient is identified as a new patient, so you would not use 92012. It describes examination on an established patient. So I want you to look those codes up and be able to visualize the answer that I just gave you. All right, have a great holiday, and we will see you for the final week next week. Have a great day. Thank you.